Well, I'm going to go out here and shut the shop lights off tonight. Thought I'd bring you along. Haven't got any work done since Jill's been gone, but let me show you what she had done here. Coming in, Izzy? Turn some of those lights off. It's a little bright. So, as you can see, we have lots of receptacles. 50 amp, 220, 20 amp, more 50s, GFCIs. So, as you can see, Jill's got quite a bit done before she left. She worked really hard before she left to make sure the house was spotless clean. She's always busy. And she says a clean house keeps a good man, but it doesn't matter. I don't have to have it spotless clean. Not OCD, that's for sure. If you look at my garage. Doug from One Eye Customs, if he walked into my garage, he'd have a heart attack on the spot. It's pretty messy. So this is going to be Jill's finishing room. And I got a little window in there for her. We're going to put a door on here so she can do her finish, put the finish on her bowls. And then right here we are making a for the dust collection system and the air compressor. And I'm going to put rock wool on the walls also. And I'm going to build a semi-soundproof door, I hope. So I thought I'd bring you out here real quick. I was coming out to turn the lights off. And I had the heat on here a little while ago just to make sure it stays warm just once a day, and it's 73 in here right now. It's going to heat very easy being spray foamed. So I thought I'd bring you along for that. And Isabel's out here in the dark somewhere. And I'm going to go in and split some wood with the electric splitter. So if I get it on film, you have to excuse the mess in my garage. And these are the can lights that we put in. We're going to actually pour a concrete slab here next summer. And we have a 4-foot overhang. We haven't got all the trim up yet. We're getting close. I got to put the soffit on there. We have some red metal soffit. And then it'll give us an 8-foot overhang to the door. So it's going to be kind of nice. And of course the Connex, which is... I do have power in here. I don't know if it's going to show up or not, but slowly gaining on that. Get some rocking systems in so we can get a little more organized. I do have the other side full of lumber already, so are you ready to go in the garage, Isabel? I don't know if you can see that little dog running, but she's ready to go in the house, I think. She is ready. There is the little woodhound. So I take some of these bundle pieces and split them up smaller. I actually like running that electric splitter. It's a little bit slow, but it's quiet. So I'm going to get a few bundles made up here for Jill and make sure her stand stays full. Last year when she was gone, I kept track and I had 34 bundles I made. Well, she was gone last fall, so this year we got a few ahead. Gonna stay with it here. So this is the electric splitter that I got her for her birthday. And yes, she would rather have this than a diamond. It's just a little 5-horse electric. Bought it at our local hardware store. $569, I think it was. On sale this fall. And she uses the old box store splitter, and we've been wanting to upgrade and need to upgrade our wood splitter. Not that we do a whole lot by hand, mainly just for her bundles. And I run this through the processor just quick to get it cut and split. If I have some smoother wood without a lot of limbs, I can run it through the processor pretty quick and make her up some bundle wood, at least get it split down where she can handle it, and then we put it in this big sled here, and she can put it in the garage, work on it nights or rainy days, so saves a little bit. It's been so rainy here this fall, the last 10 weeks, that kind of the garage is taken over as her bundling station. So I'll show you how this thing works. It's pretty slow, but it does the job. It's perfect for the bundle wood. It's not a commercial splitter by any means. You got to use 2 hands to make it split. It works okay for this purpose. This is just kind of a homeowner to split some kindling. It's basically what it's good for as far as I can see, but it does work okay. It does split good. We've used it quite a bit already, and some of this spruce does split kind of hard. This has no issues, so you have to hold the button, of course, down with 1 finger, and then the forward levers here. Pretty nice straight grain one, so I just get a bunch of it split up smaller for bundles. Now normally in Alaska this is what we'd use for bundle wood. Everything's bigger here in Alaska. And then for you Texans, down there it's a little smaller, you guys use a little bit smaller wood down in the little smaller states. Better be careful, my neighbor's from Texas is a big old rancher, pretty good sized boy. That's the other downfall. It lacks about 6 inches from the wedge. And then day before yesterday we broke a state record and a national record for quart of bundle wood split. We actually had the slowest time recorded ever. This beetle kill does make really nice bundle wood. It's a little bit knotty. It can be, but it burns hot. So standing dry, as you can see, it's got a lot of slivers on it, so it does start easy. Smells good. The only downfall I don't like about it is it's like the pine. You get a lot of snap, crackle, and pop. And if you're sitting near the fire, the sparks fly all over. But that's okay if you're out camping, I guess. A lot of people like that. I prefer the aspen myself. And actually dry cottonwood burns pretty nice. But I like the aspen for a bonfire wood. And for everybody that's in the lower 48, especially in the Midwest and Northeast, the silver maple, or what we call soft maple. There's several varieties of it. That soft maple is a really nice, quick burning, easy starting wood. Makes splits nice, makes really nice bundle wood. Well, I'll get back at it here, and if you stay with me 4 or 5 more hours, we're going to have probably 10 bundles done. This thing is slow, but it does, like I said, serves the purpose. Straight grain makes nice looking bundle wood. So there's a few people, a lot of people heat with this, especially in the Glen Allen Valdez area. You see us sending a lot of wood down there. They don't have birch up in Glen Allen or over in Valdez, so all they have is spruce. And then north in Fairbanks, they have a couple different kinds of spruce. They do have some birch, and then down where Jared is, they have no birch. They have just Sitka spruce, and that burns okay if you get it dry. Down there, it's wet and it rains all the time. They don't have the beetle kill, so getting wood dry in Seward is a big deal. And this year, we found out, talking with a couple other customers, that our wood last year dried pretty quick, and we had a big pile. They were 20 feet tall, and they were about 40 feet wide at the base and 90 feet long, and the wood dried excellent. And then this year we cut the piles down, 2 smaller piles, only about 10 feet tall, and spread it out a little bit more, and we had mold. It wouldn't dry. We actually moved the wood around a couple times, so as you've seen our older videos, Jill started stacking it up and get it to dry. And if it's stacked up like that, it does dry a lot nicer. There's a lot of people on YouTube and other channels that there's a lot of arguments both ways, but I was taught from my dad to stack the wood. We've thrown it in piles of wood and in the woods and had it mold, especially the beech and oaks. Mold pretty easy in the summertime, so if there's any kind of shade at all, don't get any air. So we have it up on pallets. We just had so much rain this year, we could not get the wood dry. And we actually had some dry wood that tested down to 19%, and then the same pile of wood, after 8 weeks of rain, it was back up to 23. So they say that the rain doesn't affect the wood. Well, maybe one little shower won't affect it, but 10 weeks of rain, it did ours. So try to keep it covered up a little bit. We don't like to tarp our wood if we can get some old metal roofing on top, or we do have some rubber tarps out there. We just keep the top of the piles kind of semi-covered to get it somewhat dry, keep some of the weather off it. And then the last few days here, it's been cold and a lot of wind. So the wood is dried right out again, nice. The lot is dried out. It does dry up quick. So definitely been the rainiest fall. The 19 years that I've been in Alaska, this is by far the wettest. Unbelievable amount of rain. So I was saying before, people eat with this. Well, the bundle wood, Joe makes a pretty big bundle. They're a full 12 inches square by 16 long, so it's about 1.3 cubic feet. It's 1 square foot on the face, at least. And then as time goes on this winter, she already started putting pieces of dry birch in. We have smaller birch pieces and slivers we'll put in for kind of kindling wood. Birch makes good kindling. The bark starts real easy also. And there's some local people around that don't have a lot, and I know that they'll stop and pick up 4 or 5 bundles to heat their house for a few days. So if we kind of know who they are, and if we can kind of get an idea when they're coming, we purposely put out some bigger bundles and a little bit bigger pieces for them. And this year, they don't know it, but we're going to bring them a cord of wood just before Christmas. They got some young kids. They're both working, hard workers, just don't have the best paying jobs, and their house heat's kind of hard. So we see them out there getting quite a bit of bundles. So this, I told Jill, I said, the end of next month, it starts getting really cold here. I'm just going to take them up a cord of nice dry birch, and when they both go to work, I'm just going to go up and drop it off and not say anything, and that'll be that. Hopefully they don't figure out where it came from. I just would like to kind of do a good deed. You know, Joe Wood, we've been pretty fortunate with our wood business here. We're doing really well, and like I said, we don't need this as an income. It's just kind of a more or less a hobby for us. So if we can help somebody else out, like if you watch Willie's Firewood, he said, you know, a little bit goes a long ways. Well, we did the same thing last year. We just gave somebody a little bit of wood and a little bit of kindling, and they thought they'd won the lottery. And to us, it was nothing really. So if you can help somebody out like that, it's good. So kind of pass on the success a little bit. We're doing really well with the firewood and the bundles. So for us to give a cord away, we're not going to notice it. And hopefully it'll help them out. So when I was younger, when I back east, working in the farm at a high school, didn't have any money. So we burned whatever we could for firewood, never got wood ahead to dry. So when somebody gave me some dry old logs, I felt like I won the lottery. I took an old home light chainsaw, went over and cut them up, and like I said, thought I'd won the lottery. Today, this seems like for the most part, the younger generation is not as thankful. I was brought up that somebody gave us something, we really appreciated it. Now, I gave my younger brother, he still lives in New York down in Snowbelt country, and I've given him lots of advice, and he appreciates it, of course. He knew quite a bit about cutting wood too. My dad cut wood, and so I taught him everything I know, and everything he already knew. Now he knows more than I do. Imagine that. So my best friend in New York, if you're watching, Ed, splitting spruce. Never would have believed it in a million years. When we logged back east, we wouldn't even bring out cherry or soft maple or a lot of even ash sometimes. That was just kind of junk wood. We brought out the hard maples, the hickories, and the oaks. That's what we burned. Cherry and soft maple, that stayed in the woods, didn't even cut it down. Well, I'm going to wrap this up for today, or tonight. You guys are probably getting bored watching me do this. I know I'm bored with it. We keep the sawdust flying, not so much the bundle wood, but we keep the sawdust flying in the Alaska wood yard. We'll see you guys soon.